That's on.
I forget. I think you should hide a little bit.
Should, right?
I think so.
Okie dokie. All right.
We're on.
We're on. It takes a second. Oh, there it is.
Yay. No.
See?
It was right there.
There it is. Okay. One one's there. So we still got a second here.
You're the only one watching right
I
now.
think I might be. There it is.
Chris is on YouTube
There we go.
Okay. All right. All right. Technical difficulties. You know what? We can't stare at that because they're both moving.
I know.
Different. Okay. All right. Welcome. How's everybody doing tonight? Welcome to the second edition of PBVJC-Official podcast. I am Steve.
I'm Brian. And I'm Ryan.
And we are your hosts for tonight. Hey, Chris.
What's up, Chris?
What up? All right. So, I don't know. So we're getting together. We're kind of like got the beginning of a podcast jitters going on. We'll work through it. So, you know, we are here to do similar to what a lot of the people are doing nowadays, getting on here, doing our podcasts and talking Jeeps, Jeep life, and everything in between, I guess. We have a few topics to talk about tonight. What's up, Jerry? All right, so how about first we talk about what is going on with this weather? I mean, it's warm 1 minute, cold the next. Like today was kind of chilly.
I'm ready for Saturday's weather.
Yeah, they're saying, what are they saying, 80?
Almost 80.
Yeah. We like high 70s.
I can dig that.
Yep.
Yo, Glenn. Yeah, I can definitely dig that. 80s is good for me.
Doors off, top off. Let's go.
You know, I haven't taken my top off in 2 years now. I might actually break down and do it because the design on the side of my Jeep with the eagle, when I take the doors off, the eagle's nose resembles something that it's just, I don't want, but I think this year I might just get some painter's tape or something. I don't know.
Mod it a little
What's
bit.
up, Derek? How are you, bub? All right, so yeah, I don't know. We can dive into some topics right off the bat, I guess. And as always, now we've got the chats going. We can talk back and forth with our audience, which would be really cool. We got a lot of things to talk about tonight. There's some
Weather report.
what?
Jerry put weather report.
Weather report, yeah. Saturday's going to be a high of 79 with a breeze of 5 miles an hour out of the south-southwest. So anyway, we're going to be talking about a few things tonight. Nothing crazy. Got some updates on some upcoming things that we'd like to, let everybody know about. So our first topic of the evening is mods and modifications on our vehicles. So one of you gentlemen want to take over and start on something like
You
that?
want to start off, Ryan? Sure, I can start off with mods. What, as far as what, like favorite mods?
Well,
I know we talked about favorite mods before, kind of,
favorite mods. I'd like to hear everybody who's watching. I'd like to hear their mods.
or just mods in general.
Oh, we could talk mods in general. There's a few things that I'd like to touch on once we get rolling on the topic. Mods in general, like, all right, what would be like? What would be like a worthy mod?
To me, I guess it really depends on what you plan on doing. I mean, a worthy mod to me is always a lift and tires. But
Glenn, that's exactly that's an angry grill.
No,
That was what I was going to say. Like, some people like them, some people don't. I guess it goes with the motif of the Jeep, right? So, like, maybe if your Jeep is that's like the look you're going for, where it's I don't know how to explain what I'm trying to say, but I personally don't like the angry grill, but I know a lot of people do.
yes.
So, but
I feel like, a lot of the angry grills that I see are more on like the show Jeeps versus the
woods
Jeeps.
So is there a benefit to an angry grill?
To me, no. I guess other than if you just like the appearance of it, or the look. And like
Shannon, can you zoom in the
what I think you were trying to say is like maybe an angry grill if the theme of your Jeep, it may fit the theme depending what
That's what I'm saying, like,
the name or
right. Like a friend of ours, Tammy, and her husband Mike, they're like theme related, and she has. You ever see that big bumper?
Yes.
But it's kind of built into the whole grill thing.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
That's not my thing, but that thing's like a major front grill. Like, but again, that being the mod that it is it? Yes, JB. That's what is it cosmetic or is it functional?
Yeah,
that's a great question.
It's more cosmetic. My wife loves them. 3 of our 4 Jeeps have them now.
Yeah.
I like the gloss. They have the matte black ones. They have the gloss black ones. The gloss black looks way better than the matte black ones, in my opinion.
See, Sam wanted one for her Jeep, and I tried for the longest, just because. And then I had to. The other thing I struggled with too, and maybe you can relate to this, being your wife has a Jeep, is the mods that she likes, I don't, and the mods that I like, she doesn't, because we have 2 different styles.
100%.
So in the beginning, it was a struggle because she always wanted to do things, and I'm like, that's stupid.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not my Jeep.
Yeah,
it's hers.
that plays.
Perfect example of that. Ducks on the dashboard.
Hate them.
My wife has ducks all over her dashboard. I can't stand them. I like them on the floor in the back. I see if I can make them float a little bit.
Yep.
I do not like them on the dash. 1 maybe, but all the way across, 3 deep. I'm not.
So,
my opinion.
I agree.
I accept the ducks because it's a generous thing, but I throw them all in the back, and then when we go to events, I'll dump them out on the table and let the kids come and grab them. They're not I don't stick the ducks on the
kids. Love them.
See, the kids love them. Like, I know a lot of the wives like to go around and do it, and that's
over
cool,
here.
But again, that's a
good one.
That's not my.
It's not your thing.
It's not my thing. But and I know people that are against the ducks, which is fine, and I know people who are against the Jeep wave. That's another thing. They kind of tie them both in together, like,
Yeah, I try to wave to everybody.
The wave, I don't mind. I'm cool with that.
Matter of fact, there are times where I'm like, I just
wave.
waved to you. Like,
it frustrates me.
Anymore, I wait until like the last second.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean,
Nicole says, so do you all want to get ducked right now?
Well,
sure, we have no idea what's going on.
She's close enough. It may happen.
So over here we have this guy. He
that
says,
sounds like marriage. Yeah, literally.
And there goes my wife. I would love a modified lawnmower. I'm sure you would.
She needs super swampers on that thing getting stuck in the yard.
My wife, we recently had a septic installed, and my wife decided that she wanted to play Jeep with our riding mower, and she got it stuck in the fresh dirt that the septic people put down. And it has grass now, but it's still real soft.
Yeah.
And my father-in-law had to pull her out with his pickup truck, which, I mean, at this point in our marriage, I can't get mad at her anymore. She's got them stuck on stumps, buried in the ground, driven on flat tires, ran over pool hoses. I mean, I could go on.
Yeah, I feel like there's not much that should surprise you.
No, there's no element of surprise anymore. When she says something's happening, it's just whatever. All right, so over here on the YouTube channel, we have a suggestion for modification being brakes. That's a great one. That's definitely, I mean, there's nothing cosmetic about that.
No.
Unless you paint your calipers. But definitely function. If you got the larger the tire, the bigger the brake you should probably go, I would imagine. No? I mean, your stock race can take you so far, right?
Yeah, I mean, and you're definitely going to have, more resistance.
Right. But, like I put the big, I upgraded pads to the what are they, the big brakes or something like that.
Yeah.
And there's better stopping, but I didn't do calipers and all like that, like the power stops.
I mean, I guess it depends.
Like what you're going to do.
Yeah, what you're doing and what your plans are.
Glenn said, what is that? Sumatran? Is that how you say that?
Big brake.
Oh,
Dynatrack.
Whoa, I guess your auto whatever. All right, big Dynatrack big brake kit for the win. Now, what does something like that cost, Glenn? Do you know what something like that goes for? Like, because that is a legitimate modification.
See, like mine, when I redid mine, I looked into converting it back to disc, getting rid of the drum. Because for what we do, the sand and everything just eats the shoes constantly.
Right.
And for mine, it was like, I think the kit was like $600 or $700.
My JK's still not stopping right after the last ride.
Really?
Yeah, I got to take some stuff apart and look in there.
I
Stuff
put
sliders
brand new
on
pads on prior to that,
Yeah.
and they're squeaking. So
Yeah, it's not
You
stopping good.
the kit itself is around 1,200, but that's really not that bad.
Yeah.
I mean, considering we were just having a conversation about just front brakes being about that much. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Brakes
are your brakes big enough for the tires you have? Are mine?
Yes.
Absolutely. It
Yeah.
stops, doesn't it?
Yeah.
All right, so there's that. We've talked about the Angry Grill being a cosmetic. However, that one that's the bumper built into the grill, I guess that could be functionable. I mean,
You're gonna run into something?
Yeah, it's protective, you know. I always say that, like, go ahead, buddy, pull out in front of me, man. I got a nice big steel bumper
Yep.
to say hello.
Yeah.
Same.
Run
So,
right into the side.
You know, I'm not worried about that. What other mods we got?
Drive shafts. Upgrade your drive shaft.
That
for
is
it.
true.
They pop out a lot.
Axle
and,
shafts.
Yep, axle shafts.
For me, the drive shaft had to come first. I blew my stock one as soon as I lifted it, maybe a week later. They're just not designed to be lifted.
No.
And I went up 4.5 inches. Mad Max grill.
Yeah.
So
One of our members actually has that.
the Mad Max grill.
Mhm.
Oh, no way. Adams, yeah, I just put a new Adams drive shaft in my Jeep in the front.
They're great.
They are. Adams is a great company. They one time I had some wobble, so I had sent it back, and they paid for shipping and everything, so it was still under warranty. They rebuilt all the U joints, greased it up, repainted it. Ryan sounded very convincing. Oh, about the brakes. Well, the Jeep stops. I made it here safely.
Yeah, he's alive.
Yeah, we're fine.
The drive shafts is definitely a good one.
Tom Woods is a
put
good
an
one
Adams.
too.
Yeah, I put an Adams in mine. Rear
Oh,
drive
right.
shaft. The front drive shaft's still stock, but
My stock
Eventually.
ones lasted pretty long.
yeah, I've
They
had
took a
no
beating.
problems with
Front?
Both,
Both?
everything. All those stock ones lasted a while.
My front one died like a week after my lift.
Really?
man. Oh yeah.
The only reason I put the Tom Woods in mine is when I did the swap the motor and all over. I already had it.
Right.
But that was nice because I had the slip yoke eliminator and all that. And
Do we
no
feel
vibrations or anything like that.
out of those? Because I know there are a lot of like mom and pop local shops to us that build drive shafts. And I've heard good things about them. But if we're weighing the options between Tom Woods and Adams, I mean, they kind of maybe it's just like your preference because I feel like they're both equally.
It's definitely.
Yeah, I would
preference, think.
assume, and honestly, I can't speak on it, but I would say customer service is probably a big one. I know Adam's customer service is great.
They're great.
As far as Tom Woods go, I don't know, so I can't say, good or bad there.
Right. Hello, Richard.
But that's probably
Yeah. So I
plays a part in it.
Right, and I've dealt with Dan over at Adams Drive Shaft for the last 4 years. They've actually faithfully donated to our Reclaim
That's what I was going to say. too.
event, so that sways my decision a little bit too.
Yeah.
But they have a great product. I don't like the greasable. I don't like greasable U joints. A lot of people live by
I'm
them.
the opposite. I wish I would. I didn't get greasable front, and I should have.
Really.
Mm-hmm.
See, I don't like it only because I'm lazy. I won't get under there. I won't
That's-
squeeze the grease back into it.
That's part of my prep every time
You
we
know,
go out.
well, I do my outer axle seals. That's a modification that is an argument too for certain people,
Yes.
right? Because some people live by them like myself, but other people say no.
See, I've gotten into that too because I have them, and I mean, I get both sides of it. You say they're there to keep stuff from getting in, but then you have people on the other hand that once stuff gets in,
They want to
It can't get out.
They can't
It's
get
held
out.
in there.
so yeah. So
Yeah,
I lean
it's a
more
double-edged
towards that.
sword.
I get it. I really do. But from all my experiences and all the mud that I've taken in, I rather take my chances that it's keeping
Right.
everything out.
Yep.
Yeah.
You want a train horn? Yeah, I want a train horn too. Horn blasters. I want to reach out to those guys. American Horn Blasters. Let's see. Greasable drive shaft U joints all day. Grease breaks down and water likes to wash it out. Pines washes it out. Glenn, that's a very valid point.
Yeah.
But again, you are correct. So are you guys. I'm just too lazy. I don't feel like laying under there. I'd rather just every X amount of miles rebuild my drive shaft. I mean, you guys should yell at me, you know.
You see what comes out when you pump the grease in. It's bad.
So all right. So maybe I just don't understand. So the grease is not there only for a lubricant. It forces the crap out of it too.
Well, if anything gets in, you know,
Okay.
like if you ever greased ball joints,
Yes.
you know, if stuff gets in there, you'll see sometimes it'll pump moisture out or water or,
Okay.
you know.
I always have water coming out of them.
So at least that's the thing, you know, if you have something that's greasable and you don't grease it and the water's just sitting in there.
True.
Or, you know, over time, I can't tell you how many U-joints I've done that weren't greasable and you pull them apart and the needle bearings are like dust.
Yes,
Yeah.
I've had
And
that.
so that's the other thing too. It definitely makes stuff last longer.
Once you're used to it, it's
Hey,
not a
Pete,
big deal.
what's up,
Yeah.
Pete?
I get on the creeper, I start in the front bumper and just pull myself back and go down
Yeah.
both sides.
Yep.
It's
And do it
lifted,
all.
so it's
See,
not
when I lay under
hard.
mine and I touch this, half of Wharton falls on my face.
Yeah,
So I don't, you know, like
that's the problem with the sand.
you got to wash it really good before you're going under it.
Yeah.
Mine anyway. I mean, it takes home the dirt with me. So, hey, look, Mama Dukes. Hey, Mama Dukes. So, all right. So let's see. We've talked about them. Let's see. I guess a winch is a modification. No, or is that an accessory? That's an accessory, right? Well, what's the difference?
That's more both. I think that's both.
Yeah, I would say that's an accessory. I would say a modification, in my opinion, maybe I'm wrong, is something that you take off that's already there and replace.
All right.
Something upgraded,
So what about lifts?
in a sense.
What about lifts? Lifts a
This
modification?
thing is definitely mod.
Yeah.
A needed mod.
Right. So in my mind, modification would be anything that upgrades it from its original. And then once you, like my mindset is, so when I redid when my tie rods went bad, I say, well, screw it, I'm not replacing it with factory tie rods. I'm going to upgrade.
Yeah.
So to me, my tie rods are a modification in my mind. I got 1 ton tie rod, 1 ton drag link. So to me, that's a modification.
Yeah.
Now that modification for me serves purpose because when you're riding in all the muck and whatnot, you hit a tree stump or something, you want something nice and rigid.
Yeah.
So that turns into a modification.
Speaking of that, you see all the steering and all the control arms and all Globex is doing?
Yes. Globex is knocking it out of the park with their the GB Excellent stuff.
Yeah.
They're making their own adjustable control arms and tie rod and all that stuff. And it looks good too.
Really
It's like,
nice
yeah,
stuff.
they make really pretty looking stuff. And it's solid. Because when I was over there, I had picked up, Glenn was showing me the adjustable, I just said it, control arms.
Okay.
And they're rebuildable.
Yeah.
So not only are they adjustable, you can rebuild them too, which I find to be really cool. And then they gave me a little tour of their shop. The machine shop they got going on is unbelievable.
Yeah.
You know, Mike and Mike in there, they're really cool dudes. And they've got it going on. Nah. You guys are rocking it, Glenn. Seriously, man. You got it going on over there. Those GBX line stuff, that's where it's
You
at.
can tell it's quality.
Yeah, it's definitely quality stuff. Absolutely.
I haven't physically gotten any of it or used anything, but just you can generally look at
Well, Terry over at Two Life Podcast just had a bunch of stuff done by them,
I saw that.
and he raves about it. And when I was there, I do not have it myself either, which I'm in the future looking to possibly get some adjustable control arms. But it's just quality. It's nice. It's heavy.
Yes.
It's nice. You can tell it's not crap. So, but yeah. So speaking on that, like a lift is a good mod. Again, if you're picking like for what you're doing.
Yeah, and that's the thing too. I mean, I guess you can be into the Jeeps and have a Jeep without it being lifted, you know, especially if you're going to go a different route. If you're just using it for shows and that kind of things, you know, you could have a stock Jeep and
Hey, Sam.
still modify it without lifting.
Oh yeah,
You know,
that's
and
true. I mean, you can fit 35s without a lift. That's the answer.
Yeah.
Watch, roll that clip. No, I'm just kidding. We don't have no clips to roll out of. Yeah.
Glenn said he'll hook any of us up when we're ready.
We'll let you know for sure. I'm the same thing. I'll mod it when I break it.
Yeah.
That's when I'll upgrade the stuff and go bigger, thicker, whatever it may be.
So on that mindset, that's kind of how my wife and I were when we got the Jeep. First of all, I said this 1,000 times and I'll say it forever. I got stuck less when I was stuck.
You do say that all the
than
time.
when I was lately. Now my build now though, I'm good.
Yeah.
Right. So when we upgraded, I did buy decent suspension. I went JKS and I went with one of their highest lines, and I spent the extra money. But now, as I replace the components, I'm trying to go that next level.
Yeah. See, that's what I was going to say too, because I feel like, when people start, you can buy mods, and then there's different levels of the mods to the same stuff, as far as lifts or control arms or anything like that. Swimming goggles.
Swimming goggle hooks for when it's dusty.
Yeah. Like the ski goggles.
That's an accessory though.
Yeah.
Like we see us all in line ready to take off, like, all right, goggles on, let's go.
So that's the thing too. It's like, you can buy upgraded control arms, but then there's different levels too. So it's like,
I know.
how far do you go? When do you, like, that's the kind of thing. Like when I did the whole frame on mine, I did the long arm kit at the same time. And I just put a rough country long arm on it because I got it for next to nothing. So I put it on, but the joints in those arms are trash.
I
So-
feel like there's a time
you
and a place
can-
for rough
yes,
country.
and you can rebuild them, but how long are they going to last? So what I did is I replaced all my joints with Johnny joints.
Okay.
Was it John or Johnny joints? Oh, Rock Jock, the curry stuff. Yeah.
Rock Jock Johnny joints.
That-
They're
that's a
expensive, but
Good brand too,
Yeah,
right there.
Right.
and it sucks because right around the same time I was doing all that is when Globex really started with the GBX stuff. I'm like, it would have given me an excuse to buy
Yeah.
arms and everything,
Yeah.
and those arms would have looked a lot nicer than the ones
Yeah,
that
their
are on
arms are
there.
sharp looking. Matter of fact, I am actually getting ready to do some more work from Globex. I'm going to have them do the rock crawler triple rate springs bump stops, and then do one of their digital alignments.
Yep.
Because I used to do my own alignments to tape measure and but 37s and all.
At that point, that, like you said, that's kind of got like a time and a place. You're just setting toe at that
Right,
point.
right.
But those guys are adjusting, control arms and everything.
There's a lot of
making
adjustments.
track bars.
Yes,
that's
there's a lot.
the thing.
You got your pinion angle,
Mhm.
all that good nonsense, and I just I will do just about anything myself, but there are certain things where I'm just like, I'm taking it to the professionals, taking it to the guys, man. I'm just doing it.
That's what I have to do also. The JL bottoms down the front way too easy.
Doesn't.
Any decent dip, it's crushing.
Well, that's
the
got a
bump
rough
stops.
country kit on it, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Look, Mike just said you're going to love those springs. I really love the spring rates on the rock crawler stuff. I've heard nothing but good stuff about them. You have rock crawl?
Rock crawler springs on my TJ, yeah.
Do you?
Yep.
So Mike there has suggested that I go long arm a little, that I can do a three, what do you call it? A three up front and what's it called? The hell?
3-link?
Yeah,
in the
3-link up
yeah.
front, and
Looking back now, that's what I probably should have done, and it probably will happen at some point.
I will probably have them do mine eventually.
Yeah,
But
do a 3-link.
I got to
setup.
stop the bleeding though.
Well, and that's the thing.
Just
we
empty
talked
every
about before.
pocket.
Yeah, when do you stop? And that's
Well-
my problem now. It's like I've gotten to the point. It's like, well,
So that's a good
what do you-
point he brings up.
yeah,
The
yeah.
when do you stop? I think you stop when you're just comfortable.
Never?
Well, that's
Yeah.
the
It
thing.
never
like,
ends.
It's a never
how can
ending.
you stop? Because by the time you're ready to stop, that first mod you did is ready to be replaced,
well, and that's
and
the
then
thing
you're
too.
upgrading.
So now, that's the thing we should bring up too for people that are looking to mod and that kind of thing. So maybe that's when it's worth spending a little bit of extra money and buying something that's a little bit better.
Mhm.
I 100% agree.
Even if you replace it with something upgraded, depending where the line is, it's going to wear out eventually.
This is
You know,
true.
And like you said, not to bash Rough Country, they have good stuff, but depending what you're doing, I feel like there's a time and a place for that.
Yeah, well, XJs are hard to find anything other than rock
Right.
jock. I mean,
Rough Country.
rough country.
Yeah.
So it's there's the time and the place.
The biggest thing I think with Rough Country that everybody complains about that I talk to is the shocks. That's
Yeah,
like the
right.
downfall. You know
Mhm.
what I mean? And
But in the same respect, a good set of shocks is pretty expensive too.
yeah, That's another thing you could talk as far as mods. You know, what do you do as far as shocks? Like there's some people that swear by certain brands. You know, I put just cheap Quadratech nitros on my Jeep, and it rides great with the with the rock crawler.
Lauren
springs.
says, buy another Jeep and start again.
Yeah.
I get that. But when I first bought it, it was a blank palette. And I've painted the picture so far that like I feel like I got to keep going and finish it, you know? Like, oh, damn, I missed that over there and I missed that over there. That's the kind of thing. Look, watch what you say. I'm watching, mister. My wife's all over me. Hey, I could be at the bar, right?
That is
We could be at the bar. We're building Jeeps, okay? So as far as suspension, you like the Quadratech Nitros?
They ride okay.
What do you
I
think?
mean, so when I first got the Jeep from Gary and I put it back together, I kind of just slapped it together, and it was like a budget slapped together. So at the time, the 4 shocks were like $149 or something.
Right.
So it was just like order everything, get it together, and then now I've gone over it again.
Yeah.
I haven't replaced them. I'm going to eventually.
Right.
Like Metal Cloak has nice shocks, so I'm probably
I got
gonna
Rough
put them
Country.
on it. On the YJ?
No, that's stock.
Okay.
Actually, I'm not sure what's on there. That's 6.5. That can't be stock.
Yeah.
But it's Rough Country on the JK and the JL. The JK, I had no problems with that. I beat the hell out of that thing, and it's
Solid.
It's solid.
The other
Dip wise every which way.
everything. The other thing people talk about too is the bill scenes.
Oh, I've heard really good things about
You
them,
know, like
actually.
Angel has them on
Yeah.
his Jeep, and he likes them, and a lot of people like them. 5100.
yeah.
Yeah.
I've heard good stuff about that.
So I mean, I guess it's kind of preference. Like I've heard people. You have the Falcons.
I have the
and
Falcons.
You love them.
Yeah, I love them a lot, yeah.
Robbie had the Falcons on his JL and said he hated
He
them.
didn't like them.
So I guess it's preference. Like it's
Everything.
hard to say. Just
Everything the Jeep.
you like something, I might not. So it's kind of hard.
That's true. That's true.
And it's like,
But you know what's messed up? It's not like a pair of jeans. You can't take all these parts into the dressing room, try them on, and put them back on a. So you got to do all this homework for the mods. Contact guys like you who are in the automotive industry, like Glenn and Tim over at Liquid Iron. Like you got to get your advice from people who know and been there. Because I wish I would have known back when I first started building it that I know now.
yeah,
About like shocks and stuff like that. Like I put on Fox shocks, but they were like their lower line, and I feel like I wore them out really quickly. Got to pair the Falcons with the right springs. Well, we know about springs, Glenn. I'm coming to you for springs, buddy. Hey, Buzz, what's cooking, man? You will be able to soon tell them to talk a little louder. Really, you can't hear us?
What? The other piece of advice too is maybe, if you're looking to do a mod and you know a few people, whether it's shocks or something like that, maybe ride in their Jeeps or take their Jeeps for a ride, see what feels good to you, or find somebody that has, a similar Jeep or something like that.
All right.
Before you invest in it.
Yeah.
All right, Glenn, lay it on us. How do you pair? How do you figure out which springs to pair with the shocks? I was going to say hard to hear. I'm sorry. I the Facebook side is hard to hear. I guess I don't know. We're working on it, guys. It's all brand new to us.
That's okay.
We'll figure it out. We'll get it going right.
Did you lock it?
I just have whatever came with the lift kit. Hey, a lot of people do that. You buy a complete kit. It comes with. We lost the feed on the Facebook.
That's what I did. I got the Rough Country kit, and it came with the shock springs, the whole big kit. It was awesome at the time.
And it's
And
budget
it works.
friendly.
Yeah, it worked great for what it was, and it will work until it breaks, and then I'll upgrade.
Yeah, that's
Again.
true.
Oh, it's back.
Yeah,
So-
don't know what happened there.
Yeah, and I mean, everybody has a different budget. And that's the thing too, is like, sometimes I don't think about, not everybody does all their own work like we do. So it's like, if you make a wrong decision buying parts, not only are you buying the parts, you're paying the shop to install them. So it really hurts.
Yeah.
Right. Well, and that's something, that what is so cool about Jeeps in general. You can literally go on Amazon, buy a cheap set of shocks, a cheap set of springs, and literally get a cheap set of tires, and boom, now at least you look the part.
Yeah.
You feel better. you know, and if you're not really doing like the hard riding we do,
Yeah.
what more do you even need than that?
And if you're not sure what, like when I lifted my wife's JK, I wasn't sure it was going to be too high or not high enough. So I got the 2-inch lift, and it's like perfect for her.
Okay.
And perfect for the Jeep.
How did it change the rideability of it?
I think the ride's great.
Yeah.
I'm so happy with that lift kit on that Jeep. It worked out perfect.
Your tires have a lot to do with ride quality. That is true.
I agree.
And the other thing about that too is your shocks play a huge role in how your tires wear. Right. So it's like, you know, like even yours, when you had bad front end parts, it really beat those old tires up.
It made them like look like the moon.
Choppy. Yeah, so you get a ton of noise.
But as soon as I put those Mickey Thompsons on, what a good ride that thing
is. He was on the way home. He texted me. He was like, dude, it feels so good.
I was like, bro,
it feels like a brand new Jeep.
Unbelievable. And I only run them at 25 pounds. So don't even think about it on mine.
She will not. See, that's all I wanted to do. Like you said.
We'll put a nice set of, come on, Sam. We'll put a nice set of 35s on there.
Just to give it the look.
Yeah, it'll look sweet. Mean one will look even meaner.
See, well, that's the thing too, because we just put tires on it, I don't know, a few months ago.
Oh yeah, my wife says, talk about the last tires we had. Everyone could hear us coming.
Literally.
Oh,
when
yeah.
you'd be sitting at the ranger station, I'd hear you a mile up the road.
Steve's coming.
Yep, here he comes.
Oh,
I like that.
Try and sit in there, though.
Yeah.
Whoa, what's that?
See, it doesn't really bother me.
I like it.
See,
Look, we have a clip of that. Roll that. No, we don't have.
Yeah.
I guess yours is different, but you know, there's no creature comforts in mine. It's just, it is what it is.
Yeah.
That was part of, like you were saying tonight, oh, you didn't drive it. It's like, move get it out to drive 15 minutes here to drive, and it's like, or I could just get in the car and drive.
See you on Saturday.
Yeah,
That's true. Yep, Saturday
so
on our beginner ride there.
I like how it is, she said.
Yeah. Well,
again, this is where the struggle was because her Jeep.
Yeah, because in your mind you see it a way that you would like it, but it's hers. Yep, like that. I could take my wife's Explorer and maybe put a lift on that bad boy, huh? Yeah. What do you think there, wife? Definitely Mickey Thompson and Falcon shocks. Yeah, I agree. That's the combination that I've got. And I really enjoy the ride now. It's just stiff enough on the road, but yet soft enough in the trails. So to me, that's cool.
So another mod too you could talk about is like your PSC steering.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So the larger the tire, the harder it is on the steering box, the factory steering box. But don't do it. I swear he did it. So I needed a ladder to get in. 4.5 inches of lift on 37s isn't that high. Seriously.
I thought 4.5 inches wasn't that much.
Well, hey, it all depends upon who we're talking about. Anyhow, it's the eye of the beholder.
That is true.
So, right? So, hard no, she says. I agree there. And Ryan redid the. What was I even just saying? Now that they just threw me off.
Real quick, that is funny because when I redid the red one, my old rock sliders had steps on them. Well, I never use them, and every time I get in and out, I hit my leg on them.
Mm-hmm.
And when we'd be wheeling, it'd be covered in mud. The whole back of my leg would
mud all over.
So when I redid it, I ordered new sliders without the step. Well, the first time she goes to get in, she's like, "Where's the step?" And I'm like, "There is no step. I don't use it." And she was like, "Well, just because you don't use it, don't mean I don't use it."
What was the last thing you just said? Another mod is
your PSC.
Oh, the steering.
Steering.
So the larger the tires, the more strain it is on your steering box. So I did upgrade with the PSC big bore steering kit with the cooling channels and the whole 9 yards.
Yep.
So, but now I love it. Don't get me wrong, because 37s are kind of hard to turn, but not with the PSC. I could steer the whole thing with just a pinky. It's so powerful. It's unbelievable. The problem is being a guy who wheeled my whole life. It's hard to explain. You can feel the tires turning under you, you know?
Mm-hmm.
You can't with the PSC. It takes away all the feeling of it. And if you're driving, ask my wife, because she's like, you're all over the road, but you bump it just a little bit and it's zooming.
Real quick, I was going to get Okay. Real quick, Helen's question. My rear shock mount broke off. We just had it fixed. My tires are crazy worn chopping. Yeah, that could be from shocks.
Oh yeah,
I would-
absolutely.
I would put
Mine
on it. Very
mine
much
are
so.
jacked.
Do
you have a charger?
Very common.
We're gonna lose Facebook feed.
It doesn't charge with the thing, so
Yeah,
it's not gonna work.
what's it on? Just like
got a little bit.
Yeah, we got a
I have
little
these
bit.
Mickey Thompsons on the YJ, and I've had them more since I owned it, and they are still perfect. Perfect tires.
Well, they have that.
They wear like iron.
There's nothing.
That's because they call it a composite rubber. It's something designed to wear that way.
Yeah, I didn't put Mickey's a nice tire, but when again, getting back to my Jeep, when I first put it together, tires were ridiculously expensive. So our supplier at work had a deal running, and I got what I put on my Kumos.
Tires are still ridiculously
Adventure MTs.
expensive.
They are.
I mean,
But it's
I
a good
had to
investment.
mortgage a kidney to buy mine.
Yeah.
Like it was crazy. But again, going with the whole spend the extra now, let it last longer, get the better.
You get what you pay for.
get what you pay for.
You're welcome, Helen. That's the other thing.
Same
too.
thing happened to me, Helen. Mine had craters in it. Looked like it was moon. They came from the moon.
I've learned too that, there definitely is a difference. Like you can buy a set of, no name 35s and they'll, you might save a few $100 over going Mickey or something like that, but I can promise you it's not worth the savings.
Right.
It's like anything else.
Bite the bullet and spend the money.
Yeah.
At least get a couple notches up from the bottom.
Yeah.
That way you just last that much longer.
Yeah.
That much more quality.
Yeah, if you can do name brand, absolutely.
So we want to start up into a different. Let's see. Can I borrow a kidney to sell? Sorry, I only have one left. Repairs. I wanted to put that on there because of my most recent repair that I've made.
The boxes over there from mine.
Yeah.
I got one pending.
Yeah.
So repairs, a lot of people take it to shops, which is 1,000% okay.
Oh, absolutely.
But like we said earlier, I like to try and do things myself first until I'm beaten. And if I'm beaten, I'm like, call my buddies. And if my buddies are busy, we'll go to one of our shops that we love to support. But recently I did so I was overheating coming home from our Adopt-A-Highway. And normally I don't overheat going like 50 miles an hour or whatever, but I'm overheating. The faster I'm going, the more I'm overheating. So when I get home, I found that I have a crack in the neck of my radiator.
Okay.
So I decided that I got to do a new radiator. This radiator was such a pain in the ass that the next time it happens, I will absolutely take it to some. I am not doing that again because, well, you do it for a living, bro. There's 2 8mm bolts down underneath the blinkers, but the frame goes there. I had to like contort myself. I get this thing. I got my ratcheting box wrench. I got a long screwdriver, and I'm like pushing the head onto it. I finally, I get it loose, get the other ones loose. And then I try to pull it out. And I'm like, why isn't this thing moving? Well, come to find out, there's still more shit attached to the damn radiator.
The AC lines.
AC lines, the tranny core lines.
There's a lot attached to it.
And that's the thing too. It's like when you do it for a living, you have all the, I don't want to say special tools because they're not really specialty tools, but you have all the good stuff.
Mike says, wait till you need to do a heater core in that thing. It makes the radiator job look like walking apart. So I feel like
cores I hate.
Yeah.
Well, I had to take the inner fenders out. Try to get that one bolt. Try to get that one bolt on the driver's side. Oh, on the cooler lines, I get them off. I got them off kind of okay. It's the one with what are those upper ones? Steering lines? The upper lines on the side of the radiator. Where are they?
That should be the condenser.
All right, so that's what it was. The condenser lines. There's an 8mm bolt hidden behind a bracket, behind something the hell else. So I finally got that out. All right, so now I get it out, and I'm all cut up and cursing, and I shine my light through it. You can't see through my radiator because it was plugged with mud, which PSA, you want to rinse your radiator out after being in a muddy conditions, okay? But then putting it back in, that was almost as bad as taking it out.
That's what I was going to ask. Did it go back in, though?
Yeah, because how many people would have left the bracket off and the bolts out?
Oh, no, I did. So I'm anal when it comes to this shit, right? So I line up all my bolts so I have them all. And as I'm putting them all, I'm taking them as I kind of take them out kind of thing. And I get down to the last couple ones. I'm like, I'll be damned. I used every single bolt or screw that I took out. I can't believe it. I don't have any extras this time. So I guess I put it back. But you know them long slinky things? You squeeze on it, it opens up, and you can grab bolts and shit.
Yeah.
That's what I was doing to get these bolts into the holes. I put the head on the thing, and I weave it in.
They make magnetic sockets.
Yeah.
What us
Game changer.
mechanics hate. Yeah. What a pain in the nards that was.
You're getting yelled at your mouth.
You know what else is a pain in the nards? My snorkel. Because that goes behind the shock tower. What?
I was going to buy one for the JK. And I watched the video and installed it. I'm like, okay, not that important at this moment.
The rugged ridge, it was tough to do.
It looked like a pretty big job. It's coming soon anyways, because the more aggressive we get with that, I have to have a snorkel on it.
Yeah.
Rather be safe than sorry.
Yeah, that's coming. Maybe next winter.
But they're like
they're not
$500 or $600.
The one I wanted was $700. Okay. But it was.
Was that the adaptable one with the? Yeah. Has a side cowl.
A lot of labor.
See, that's the struggle. Like those ones look good. Now for the TJs, there's not many out there that I liked because I didn't want to drill the fender. Right. River Raider used to make one that came through the cowl, and I like that.
That's the one I like.
It looked cool to me, and I like that it's not out the fender. Yep.
They don't have no.
But no, because when I was looking to buy mine, I went on their website, and I guess when COVID and all that was going on, after that they kind of like fell off the face of the earth. So I bought one from Trailhead Off-Road. It's really just a cowl intake. The filter and all is under the cowl panel in with the wiper motor.
Oh,
in mine. So it doesn't come out.
But so you do have a snorkel then?
Well, it's not really a snorkel.
It's like a
cowl intake.
Right.
But if there's water up that high,
you're screwed.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. It would be above the dash at that point.
Yeah.
What's up, Tom?
Yep.
So we have had water across our laps before, so thank God for the snorkels.
Same.
Yep.
Same.
Many of times.
My dash, my glove box actually was halfway in the glove box the one time in the YJ.
Okay. We were out one time playing, we were behind Dave's house, and there was this one hole, and I'm like, I'm not going to go through the center because this thing looks like a lake. I'll stay to the right side. Well, the right side's the deepest.
Oh. that happens.
I should have went through the center.
Yeah, that happens a lot. Like you feel like your instincts telling you like stay to one side or the other, and then you end up getting screwed.
That's why I like being third.
You can learn from everybody else. Yeah.
Third, fourth, you're in a safe range.
You're leading the way. That's another reason why when I'm leading, sometimes I just don't go through stuff because I just want to know where. I want to make sure that I'm free and available for a couple guys behind me or whatever.
Yeah.
So I don't know. We'll see what happens with more mud because the last ride we were on, my Jeep was like a tank. Like I'm like, finally, it's built the way I want it now. It's ripping.
Well, the gears.
Oh yeah, the gearing. There's a mod.
Make a huge difference.
Oh yeah.
That is definitely,
Yeah.
That's probably the next thing I'm going to do with the YJ. Yeah. I still have stock gears, everything.
What are they? 410s in there?
No, they're less.
355?
I don't know what would have been in that.
I'm not sure, honestly.
Mine were 321, and it was a dog.
But they're stock. I mean, my top speed is 55, 60 miles an hour. It's slow. But
but you'll start throwing out drive shafts and busting out axles.
Not care.
I don't care. That's what I have it for. I don't care if I break it or not.
Gary has some stories, too.
The day I'm talking about behind Dave's house, Gary was with me. And I remember him coming out, and there was a water line up his door that had to be 3 foot tall. Jeez. And all I could think was, thank God Bev wasn't with him.
That's the fun. If you were coming out, you better be ready. Especially with my Jeep.
You hear that, Miss Aaron?
Hold on and buckle up.
Shit, so I'll pull up to an obstacle. My wife's standing there parachuting out the window like she's jumping out the window.
Well, the last ride we were on, Sam was like, I'm like, it's all right. We'll be fine.
We got this.
Yeah, wow.
Famous last words.
Yes. All right, so anything else? What on our Jeep would you consider a difficult repair? I mean, you guys do it more.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that depends on the person.
Well, when we did the rockers and all, I guess that could be a tricky if you don't have the right tools.
Yeah, I mean, to do those, you definitely need the right tools, and you're messing with the timing and all there, so you got to be careful. You definitely need to have the knowledge, but
Each check,
you know, I mean, yeah, I would say it really depends.
Chick-fil-A
You know, what
in Centerton Square, Mount Laurel will be participating in 4x4 day.
Yeah, they were sharing something about giving lights out for all the duck.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I guess it really just depends on your skill set and what you're comfortable doing.
Right.
You know,
I did the slip yoke eliminator on the YJ. Take transfer case apart.
Yep.
Put the shit, and most people right there, you're done.
And
but it really wasn't that big a deal.
no, it's just, it's involved, you know, and there's different things you can do where you really need to set aside the time and really pay attention to what you're doing.
But it was a lot. You know, it was worth it. Like Steve said, I have this table, another table, and I'll just line the stuff up.
Yep.
In the order it came off, and hopefully
And
when
then
you're all
go back.
done, it goes right back the same way.
Yep.
As long as nobody comes out in the garage.
Yeah, those coffee cans full of the extra nuts and bolts when you're done, that happens.
And
Yeah.
there's some stuff that's, I will jump out.
Oh, we know.
There's some stuff that's more tedious than others. Like I've done gears and all, and you know, it's not my most favorite thing, but that's kind of tedious because you're in and out with shims and all that kind of
Yeah.
stuff, you know, but
Yeah, but I mean, if you
Mine-
know the different lash and all that stuff right off the bat, though, you could almost put it together close.
you can get it close. Yep.
So spare parts are the best. That's right, Zach. All right, so we'll get moving along. I guess we've talked about a bunch of stuff tonight to keep for tonight's episode. Let's do a couple shout outs to our events and get ourselves rolling. So we've already been on about an hour.
Yep. Sounds good to me.
So we have our Reclaim event. Well, let's rewind. First, we have Topless Day, Barricade Topless Day, which is May 17th at the Evergreen Dairy Bar. And it is a touch-a-truck event, and it's shaping up to be one hell of an event this year.
I think it's going to be pretty big. And honestly, Sam and I were talking about that. I think it's going to be bigger than any of us have expected.
Yeah, I think so too.
Because they're sharing it around, and there's a lot of people who aren't really in the Jeep community that are interested.
I've noticed that because Evergreen shared it, and they had a real good response on their thing. So, so there's that. You know, we have Liquid Iron and Globex are both going to be there.
Yep.
And there's going to be a couple of vendors there as well. So that's going to be pretty neat. So that's May 17th, Barricade Go Topless Day event, and that is for special events for special kids.
Yep. All proceeds are going to go to them.
Correct. The Mundo.
So thank you to everybody who's donated so far for that event.
Yeah, it means a lot.
You know,
It's going to be great.
yeah.
It is.
I'm bringing a lifted truck
Oh, that'd be
so
cool.
the kids can play in it, play on it, wherever they want.
If anybody has something cool,
Yeah, if you got a touchable vehicle, bring it out.
let us know.
Dalton's case manager school requested to share it as well. Sweet.
Yeah.
So, and that's just a little over a month away.
Yeah.
So, and that's going to be
definitely
good. And
coming up
we
quick.
thank Evergreen for always hosting that event there.
Yes.
This is the 5th time they've done that for us.
Yeah.
Very good people over there. So good food, good ice cream.
Perfect space.
You'll be
Yes.
stuck at work on May 17th. That stinks.
I'm just hoping we have enough space.
That runs
Because
pretty good.
It does, but we're going to have a lot of
It's
people
shaping
ourselves,
up
and
to
then
be a
people
lot of
showing
people
up
this year.
just to see.
Yeah.
So we're going to have to really figure out the
Yeah.
parking
I'll do the
situation.
whole Google Earth. We'll make a map, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And then we have our Reclaim event in August. I know there is another event, Jeep event in between that, but that's not our event. So we have Reclaim 5, First Responders Charity event. Listen, guys, we're running out of the free shirts. So when you buy a ticket right now, you get a free event T-shirt. We are running out, and when they're gone, they're gone. You'll have to buy an event shirt. And who wants to buy an event shirt if you can have one for free, right? So hop on and get your tickets. But we have a big announcement with the Reclaim event, and that's our friends over at Globex Performance are sponsoring a Reclaim 5 after party, which is really cool. There's going to be food, music, prizes, all kinds of cool stuff. You can come and hang out. That's going to be at Spellbound Brewery. So that's going to be, I think that'll be pretty cool. Your ticket to get to the after party is your Reclaim event ticket.
Yes.
So you need to have a Reclaim event ticket. That gets you into the after party, you know, and after the after party is the after party.
Cool.
Right. Yeah. I think it's going to be,
First official after
First
party.
official after party. See, every year we try to grow a little bit.
Awesome.
There is another pretty big announcement, but we'll wait till the next one for I'll leave everybody hanging on that one. It's it could have its ups and downs. I don't think I mentioned it. Did I mention it? I did.
Yeah, you
All
did.
right,
Yeah, you did.
So so our Reclaim event's coming up. It's going to be really cool. The after party. I'll have to find out. It is at a brewery, but it's outside out the brewery. So I don't know if it's all ages or not. I know there's going to be food and all that stuff. I know the kids can't go in the brewery. As far can they?
I don't know what their rules are, but yeah,
Most of them
can.
They can.
Yeah.
And especially being we're going to be outside, I think it would be okay.
I'm
I would
pretty
just leave
sure
it up
it's
to-
all ages.
Yeah,
5
I
to
would just
9.
leave it up to.
Yeah, and that's going to be from 5 to 9, I think.
Yep.
Yeah.
That should definitely be.
Trying to see if it said anything about it.
5 to 9. Globex is actually the sponsor to that. We love those guys over there. And when I was talking to Mike, and Glenn, they were like, "Yeah, absolutely. Let's do something. Let's blow it out of the park." Because we like to go big or go home. So that's going to be cool because I want to set up for next year, possibly being a multi-day event, possibly getting Amusements of America involved, and possibly having amusement park rides. One step at a time.
Yeah.
One step at a time. See, I get all excited when we start talking.
We're going to set up tents and sleep there.
Just sleeping
Camping
under the
overnight.
tent.
Which I'm cool with. Whatever.
So-
That works.
But yeah, so those are our events coming up. We're working hard behind the scenes to put together really cool events for everybody to come out and hang out. And they are the best part is that they're a cool event, but they're also a charity.
Yes,
So they're going to great causes, and they're taking care of people in need.
absolutely.
So what better than that? So hop on the Purple Pass link, go into our events page. The Topless Day event is free to enter.
Yep.
Right? Reclaim. You have to have tickets to come, and your ticket is your ticket to the after party. So check that out. Other than that, you guys got anything you want to add?
That's it. It's an awesome day for the family. We have a great day, great time, lots of people.
That's
lots
true
of
too.
Different
That's good
vendors.
that you brought that up.
Food for everybody.
It's per carload for Reclaim.
Yeah.
So one person, the driver, can clown car their people into their car.
Yep.
And you're only paying for one vehicle ticket because it's per carload of people.
Great band.
So yeah, it's a great band. The band Next is going to be there. They've rocked it the last 2 years. 2 years.
2 years.
And they kick ass. They
last year was
yeah.
awesome. Awesome.
Yeah, it was
So-
a good time, definitely.
See, Glen parking lot and Spellbound, Mount Holly sucks with parking. We're going to be okay.
Yeah, we'll be fine.
We'll be fine,
They have
Nicole.
room for
Don't
us.
be such a downer. we'll be
We'll
good.
make it work.
We're figuring it out. We've been talking to the owner. We're working our magic. So,
Yeah.
so that's that. So aside from that, Shannon, you ready to go when we're ready to go? All right. So thanks for joining us tonight. Go to our YouTube at PBVJC-Official. Subscribe for us. It hooks it up. And until next time, we're out of here. See ya.
See ya.
Peace.
Take it easy. Lighting actually.